T'es chargé. Bon, est-ce que nous avons joué vidéo là?
Nous avons joué vidéo et puis...
The scale that we're thinking here, we're not thinking small, we're thinking big here, because we have a once-in-a-generation mandate right now. The American people have voted for drastic reform of the government, and our federal government is broken. It's no secret that it is a fourth branch of government, the administrative state, that makes most of the rules, that creates a federal bureaucracy that's hampering our economy. So what we want to do, we want to...
This is not a fourth estate of government. It is the government functions. It's the government functions. There's there's legislation, and then there's execution of that legislation. That's it. All he's talking about is not changing the legislation. What he's talking about is undermining the ability of these agencies to actually execute the directives of these agencies.
Okay, monsieur. All right. In Democrat yo, they don't like those two guys. Et sou bien gade tout, spécialement dans média libéral là, yo pas gade approach, tout autre a plein que, et y a plein en pile parce que m'te ka di ou government waste. Pas ça? Démocrate plein pour government waste, Républicain plein pour government waste. But now, if you really look at it, what this guy's talking about, I don't know why people portray it as to kum te ka di next ayo, yap essayé take people's job away from them. That's the way the liberal media put it. Yo pa parle encore de agency sa yo ki la. There's really no need for them. As a matter of fact, agency sa yo kreye yo, c'est comme te kadou, nèg yo di sa même, to stop te kadou développement économie pays ya. Because yo pa dans some packet regulation, sometimes don't even make sense. Et puis tout, go packet moun kap travail tout, they're not even really working. They create those agencies basically to waste money. So, to me, I don't see what's the problem. Comme Sondaj dit, the government fat for no reason. It's time to inject some type of, how they call that thing again, these fat women be taking now, they become skinny in 2 days. How they call that shot? Ozempic. Yeah, it's time to inject some Ozempic in the government because it's too fat. And again, whole bunch of agencies. As a matter of fact, I was watching one of the show. There was an agency that, you know who created that agency? Your woman over there, your senator over there. What's her name again?
Warren.
Senator Warren. Yeah, Senator Warren.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Warren.
She created an agency, and practically, people asking themselves, what the hell are these people getting paid for? So to me, in my opinion, it's those guys, and people complaining, they say, is it okay? Does it make sense to have these millionaires that have been running private company, and then you bring them into government? Government cannot run itself. Private company is running way 10 zillion times better than government. You never go to a driver license place? You see how these people work?
Yeah, the line at the registry, they don't care. They're just here to kill time.
They don't care. But if they were working for a private company, it would be a whole different ball game. And another thing they say, they're gonna need people back to the office. Imagine when these government people working at the office, you can't even get service. Now they work at home. What do you think they're doing? You think they're working? So, I don't see why they have issue with those two guys. Says, you know what? There's a whole bunch of nonsense agencies that created. There's no need to have them. Let's cut these agencies and make government more efficient. And who can do it best? This guy can do it best because guess what happened? Look at their companies. Look at Elon Musk companies. Look at the way they manage their companies. They have better success managing their private company than what? Than the government itself. The government don't have no success managing anything. But a bunch of lazy people making a lot of money. And with what? Mm-hmm. And there's no, if you're working for a private company, you don't do your job, you get fired. You cannot fire people like that in government. They have union.
They got union.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, even you're not getting the service, even though there is no need for it, it's a waste of money. But guess what? There's a legislation that passed. And majority of legislation, you know the way they pass, right? Compromise. Even though the legislation is...
Lobbyists and compromise.
Lobbyists and compromise. Even though it's not good, but guess what? I have something great. Hey, if you want me to vote for you something great, guess what happened? You have to vote for my bad shit. That's it. I don't know what you think, Mano.
Well, I mean, for example, right, there's a lot of things who's like come down and trickle down. Like when people are not in the office, you know what happened? The pizza place wasn't making any money. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of other things around those things that people sometimes don't realize that. The people who are going to come and clean those buildings, they're not making any money. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of...
You can say that, but there's the DoorDash guys probably making money.
Yeah, but my point is, what about the guy who usually come and clean the building? The guy who, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of other things.
That guy gonna do DoorDash.
You see what I mean? Like,
he'll leave that job and go
do DoorDash.
Yeah, he'll basically
yeah, but
himself.
I mean, what I'm saying is, it's there's a lot of things. What about the value of the building? The people who invest. And you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things those guys are doing, guys. I agree to a certain degree to what you're saying, but believe me, everybody's in it for their pocket. It doesn't matter. Next time a billionaire, tout comme you gagne, you va venir sofa.
Come on, no. But guess, no, that's not
M'a dit que gen débat qui pa edo. On n'est pas venu tout comme ça pour venir because he loves America. Les gars venir mettre un système pour système ni marcher pour moun qui gen comme barrel pour zami.
Oui, non mais problème que moun qui gen pile comme surtout moun qui gen business qui they have like big businesses in this country. They always think that the government oversight is just too much. They need to be unshackled so they can run and actually do business and make money. So you get heavy government, legislation got to pass, things got to run to the government, got to trickle down before everything can be done. So those guys are looking for a way to actually trim the government, like I said earlier, trim the fat so they can make things a little bit more effective. So take up their department as an audit company. So when you're a private company, you hire an audit company or consulting firm to come in and do an audit and then give you advice on how to make things better. Right? So, c'est comme ça next time they're going to go in every department, and believe it or not, there's a lot of things that are funded in the government. So you got projects that are funded, you have certain departments that are funded, and you have a department that already exists that are getting funded for stuff to be done on the side that are basically pointless. I was watching a video recently, and there's a list of things that they were showing you. They have project that basically studies like the butterflies in Peru, right? I mean, it might worth something. It might worth something, but to me, I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, but suddenly, qui différence entre route qui bon la kaiwa? Yo crave, yo refait it every year. Même si route la pas besoin fait. Why do they do that? Because they gotta have the budget. Si yo pas dépenser comme là, they're not getting the budget next year. So one way or another, they gotta spend it.
Well, yeah, but maybe those funds can be spent somewhere else.
Exactly. It's a business like everything else. Everybody's making money in it. And believe me, no matter how they trim the government, no matter what happened, it's going to be better for those guys because they're taking out regulation. Comme ça, you believe me, it's not going to go down to monkey all the way. Cap tipipitia, cap travail.
Here's the thing. Let me.
I mean, I'm not saying that.
Let me tell you something.
It's not going to run better or do it better. But at the end of the day, when Bonek, I have to see what's going on first. Tout ça qu'on y a là, c'est speculation. I got to see it in motion. Because sometimes what you think on paper, it's not what it is in reality. So we're going to have to see what happened.
Here's the thing.
I get the idea. But sometimes it's not the way it is for real.
But remember, the American people gave Trump a mandate, and Republican Party, they don't like big government. The Democratic Party like, bigger government, bigger and bigger and bigger forever, right? So next I will be Nikunyala, you won't travail pour faire. And that's basically what's going to be implemented. This idea of a whole bunch of billionaires are coming in to run the government. Well, guess what? You didn't become a billionaire in this country to not exercise power and influence.
By scratching your balls. No.
Exactly. Well, but not only that, once you become a billionaire, you want to exercise power and influence, right?
So you want broke people to influence you, or you want a billionaire to influence you?
I mean, I don't know how broke people can influence me. I don't know,
But here's the other thing, most important things you guys haven't mentioned. You see, technology-wise, the United States of America is far behind compared to China. You know why China can advance technology-wise so fast and can get done faster? You know why? Because there's no such things as all this regulation. Do you understand? Meaning that there's a democracy. So practically, everything that needs to be done, as long the people that's supposed to be responsible for it, they have what? They have a mandate to do what? Get it done. By the time China gets something done, the US have to go through 25 agencies before that little thing can get done. Approval by who? By this person, by that person. If that person not there, and let me tell you something. This is why you see that Elon Musk is one of the main guys that they use to control Doge. You know why? Because right now he has a major problem. You guys don't understand the way these things work. His major problem right now is China. With Tesla. With all this development, technology-wise. Where you think all these things are? In China. Now, the government trying to force technology because they're not trusting China. You understand? So they want to move a lot of these major components where? In the US, right? But guess what? Those things are not easy to do. You know why? Because of all those agencies that they have to go through, all the red tapes that they have to cut to finally get what? Get something done.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So it's way more into it than what you talk about, Manu.
There's one thing I can guarantee you. I don't want to live under a communist regime, but I am for smaller government and for things to be more effective and for things to be more streamlined so we can get faster result. I'm all for it. We've been running, the government has been running for hundreds of years. Why not be open to something new and see how it works? If it's a failed department, it's a failed department. They'll close it out. The next president that come up, if the Democrat gets in power, they'll close it out, right? But if it's something that's working and you have an oversight and that can streamline things, I'm all for it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Oh, no, I agree with that. 100%. But the only thing that I'm telling you is everything, I have to see it in motion because I know what they're saying, but I want to see how they're going to do it.
All right.
Well, yeah.
So, même gens, I get it, but I want to see it in motion.
All right.
They can speculate, a lot of things, but I just want to see how they're going to proceed. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Dude, it's gonna get done. Don't worry about it. It will get done. And then no matter. Go ahead, Sonny, because we have to move to the next. We have to move to the next subject.
Yeah, ben, sur le sujet, bon, on fait camper, but nous va briser. There's a lot of people that are worried about, the weak and the poor and all those things. They're like, oh, maybe if those guys comes in, they're not sensitive, they're not sensible to the experience of certain group of people, and those people will be impacted. And I don't think it's this at all, right? I don't think, that's the direction that they want to take.
I agree with you that you don't think so, but I don't think so either. But all I'm saying is I have to see it in motion, dude.
I have to see it in motion. That's
so far, everything's on paper. So it's just the same.
You will
say that out. And that's on. I learned that from you. No matter what, you gotta go and play the game.
But guess what? But guess what? Pour well in motion. Fuck travail la fête, and they're gonna do
that's
it.
What I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But you can either be optimistic about it, or you can be pessimistic. Okay.
Don't you think it's a good thing,
guys? I don't think.
Est-ce qu'on va penser son mot bagay?
I think it's a good thing.
Mais ok. Qui problème?
M'pa pense que son bagay genre comme si genre tout le monde pense là on est venu nous coacher non, it can't be that way. I don't think it's gonna happen that way.
Tout le monde connaît
the country still gotta run.
Exactly. But go back at nonsense. And guess what? When XIO, they're not stupid. They know. Yo kon sa
stupid.
So yo kon sa palia. Okay? Yo kon sa palia. That's it. So yo kon sa palia. That's all I can say. And also, people, subscribe. Okay? Subscribe to our channel. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and share and give me love. As you guys know, there's one thing I ask. Give me love. Share the post. And we have a lot of great show that Repiblik gonna bring for us. And again, only one thing you have to do, go ahead and subscribe to all our channel.